This is the brand new OM 50-200 f2.8 lens. To test it, we're gonna go well above the Arctic Circle. We're gonna travel down to the coast of Alaska and see just how well this lens performs for wildlife photography, landscape photography, pretty much anything else I can throw in. But before we go much farther in this video, you need to know that OM did sponsor this video. So they made it possible for me to drive about 4,000 miles in the last week to test this lens out. So this isn't a review. This is more just how does this lens perform in the real world, in real world situations here in Alaska. And yes, I will mention some of the specs of this lens, but mostly I want you to enjoy this video and come on this adventure with me. I'd been planning a trip north of the Arctic Circle to film and photograph wildlife for some time. So when OM said they had a new 50-200 f2.8 lens, I thought what a perfect opportunity to test this lens out. We made it to the Dalton Highway. This is considered the most dangerous road in the United States, partly because you only have about 250 miles before there's the next gas station. There's no services there. There's no tow trucks, no nothing. Pretty much on your own for these 450-ish miles of Arctic road. So yeah, but it is a spectacular place to see wildlife, which is what I'm really hoping to capture on this trip. It's been a long day. I've already been driving for a little over 12 hours. But we did make it to the Yukon River Bridge, which is super cool. Oh my gosh, there's the biggest moose by the side of the road. It'd be a perfect opportunity to test this lens out. This lens's 50-200 millimeters turns into a 100 to 400 millimeter equivalent on full frame, which is one of my favorite, most versatile lenses to use. Made it to the Arctic Circle. Ta-da! And yeah, the road has been interesting so far. It's kind of rough, very muddy, but we're getting there slowly but surely. After about 18 hours of driving, we finally made it to Coldfoot, the last gas station for the next 250 miles into the Arctic. After spending the night at a campsite, we continued to drive north through the Brooks Range along the Alaska pipeline. And as we were driving, this little northern hawk owl landed in a tree right next to the road. As you get closer to Adigan Pass, something interesting happens. The landscape begins to change. You suddenly notice you are so far north now that trees can no longer grow. Once on the north side of Adigan Pass, you get to drive through some of the most spectacular landscapes on the planet. And here is where I'm really hoping to find some wildlife. Had no luck finding wildlife just yet. We're gonna stay up here for a little bit longer and kind of look around, but this feels like a good spot to drink some coffee. I mean, look at this. All those mountains back there, just huge. wide open space. Coffee's done, gas is in, let's go. We have made it as far as we're going to go. You can see the pipeline and the road just stretches on and keeps going. It's another like 180 miles to Dead Horse, which I've gone to before, but I'm not going up that far this time because I just don't have the time. Wildlife so far has been sadly very absent. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to go somewhere else to look for wildlife. But still, this is a pretty epic place to come and visit. Even though we didn't see the wildlife I was hoping to see, one of the reasons I love a lens like this is its versatility. It allows you to capture detail shots in landscapes like this, and it allows you to put your subject and background together in a way that helps you show off the true scale in vast places like this. Having spent 4 days driving nearly the entire length of the Dalton Highway looking for wildlife and not having seen very much, I decided to turn my attention south and make the 250-mile drive to Homer in hopes that we could find some good opportunities to photograph birds. So I'm down here in Homer, Alaska, which is a really cool little seaside town. A bunch of it sits on this really narrow strip. The Spit, which is where I am right now, looking for birds, otters, just whatever wildlife we can find. There are some other ships out there, which I'm gonna take some photos of with this camera and this lens because, you know, good way to test it out. And that brings us to today. Now, this area here, we're in Hatcher Pass. This area here, I mean, obviously it has some of the most incredible scenery. It is absolutely beautiful, especially on a sunny day like today. But this area specifically where we're going to is known as the Pika Township because there's a whole bunch of pika that live up here. Now, if you don't know what pikas are, they're essentially the smallest member of the logomorph, the rabbit family. They live out here in the wild. They spend their summers gathering up little bits of grass and flowers to store it for the winter because they don't hibernate, and they stuff it in little rock dens all around. They're super fun to photograph. They're super cute. And this is one of the best spots, in Alaska at least, to come and find them and film them. So I'm hoping that maybe today we don't get totally, completely skunked with wildlife. So I've been up here before, and this is usually where I find a few running around. They're all kind of scattered through the rocks behind me here. So we're just gonna sit and wait for a while and see if one pops out and says hi. Hopefully they're not being too shy today. I saw one, but he's down over here. So we're gonna make our way down there, and then we're gonna sit real still for a while and just see if we can get them to come out with us. Finally found one that's not being so shy. Just down over the hill here. Right there. Nice. It's time to move on. Got some pretty cool shots there, decent stuff. I will say, being that this lens is a f2.8 all the way through the zoom range, and that it's so small and lightweight and internally zooming, makes it really nice for stuff like this. And the stabilization in this lens is really impressive. Yeah. I also like the fact that it has an Arca Swiss plate on the foot, so it goes right into my Peak Design tripod. So like I said earlier in the video, this lens is a fixed f2.8 all the way through the zoom range, which is kind of a big deal because most like 100 to 400 or those sort of equivalents are variable aperture. They start at, f4, f5, 6 and go up to 7.1 or 6.7. So this being 2.8 all the way through is really nice. Having finally found some wildlife, there was one more place I wanted to take this lens to show how versatile a 100 to 400, or in this case, a 50 to 200 f2.8 can really be. Landed at this really epic spot. I'm gonna see if I can get a really good long shot of the helicopter from the inside of the ice cave, because this is so epic. My gosh, this is so cool. Almost there. This is probably a good time to mention that this lens is weather sealed, so running around an ice cave like this with water coming down everywhere, not something I have to worry about. A little bit farther. I want to avoid that. That's unstable. But I think I'll get right in here maybe. Look at that shot. That's pretty sweet. Okay, photos. I mean, how epic is this? This is insanely cool. All right. This is amazing. Look at this cave. This is incredible. And I do love a lens like this for caves like this because you can get that really nice compressed shot. One of the many reasons I love lenses like this is the amount of compression, aka like how much you can bring the background and the foreground together. So right now there's this incredibly epic mountain behind the helicopter, and with a lens like this you can put the helicopter and the mountain together in perspective, kind of the way that your eyes see it, and show off the scale and the grandeur of the mountain behind it or of the ice cave, especially when you have something for scale in the shot like we do right now. So as epic as all that was, I was still wanting to photograph some more wildlife, so we headed down to the shore where the salmon runs were going strong. This lens really does produce some beautiful images. The focus fall off is great, the focus motors are incredibly fast and accurate, and whatever you do put in focus is very sharp. Like I said earlier in the video, this focal range is one of my favorites, and now that it's in this really nice compact lens body with a constant f2.8 aperture, it's really useful. I love using lenses like this to compress and show off the true scale of things, but also to grab shots of wildlife, to be able to showcase things like these sheep that I found on my way home from Valdez that I still don't understand how they can run around on cliffs like this, but they do, and I've never seen them fall. But a lens like this is great for being able to just throw it in your bag, take it with you all kinds of places, and be able to capture a huge variety of shots. I also love using a lens like this for landscapes because it allows you to punch in and really capture the details of what you're seeing in that space. If you're interested in checking this lens out for yourself, there are of course affiliate links in the description. But next, you're going to want to watch this video right here. I'll see you over there. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream, which happens most Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We can have more of a conversation. I can answer questions that maybe I didn't get to in this video. I'll see you again soon in the next one. Cheers.